I hear the deep sigh of your soul tonight. I know the weight of this weariness that dwells not only in your body, but in the depths of your spirit. You have come here with a heavy heart, seeking a breath of hope, a clear sign that I have not forgotten you and that your journey is not over. I prepared this moment because I feel the pain you hold in your chest in absolute silence. Why do tears seem to insist on watering your pillow just when you most plead for rest? Has your suffering gone unnoticed by my eyes? I am the Lord who knows every hidden wound. Just as I guided my servants through the most fearful deserts described in the Scriptures, I am here to hold your hand. If you pour out your heart before me and walk with me through these words, I will tear away the veil of your confusion and reveal to you the grand purpose that is being forged in the furnace of this affliction. If this word of God is already beginning to warm the coldness within you, please write below your name, the country, state, and city where you are receiving my embrace now, and the time where you are. Let your faith break through the barriers of discouragement and write as a genuine cry from your soul. Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you. Make this space your daily sanctuary. Join this purpose, leave your mark of trust, and activate the spiritual alerts to always heed my call. Calm the beating of your heart and remain in my presence until the end, for I will deliver a definitive answer to your anguish today. A sacred phrase will be whispered directly to your spirit at the closing, and whoever declares it in faith will receive prophetic blessings upon their home. You have been walking under the shadow of doubt, questioning whether I have changed my mind about you. But there is a profound mystery hidden in this emptiness that you have endured. What you still haven't understood is that this dark night is not a punishment, but the stage set for something your soul never even imagined. I know the years of sacrifice you made to care for everyone around you. You carried pains that often weren't even yours, lifting people up while your own spirit lay fallen, bleeding in absolute silence. Many times, in the middle of the night, the weight of loneliness and incomprehension tried to crush your heart. You looked around for gratitude or a simple hug of recognition and found no one to comfort you. No one to wipe away your tears in your most fragile moments. But I was there watching over you. I collected every drop of your sadness. The biblical word reveals that I record your lamentations and collect your tears in my bottle. They are all noted in my book. In the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8, is based on my intimate care for your daily suffering. Bring this divine truth into your reality right now. When your bedroom door closes and you collapse under the weight of responsibilities, it is not emptiness that embraces you. It is me. I am the Lord who envelops your fragile soul. I feel the strong woman the world demands you be every day, but I also know the frightened girl who lives inside, needing only rest and comfort. Your decades of sacrifice were not in vain. People may not recognize your constant dedication, your sleepless nights, and your youth devoted to the well-being of those you love, but in my kingdom, nothing goes unnoticed. Each of your sacrifices is like a gentle incense rising to my throne. If my touch of love is easing the burden on your soul at this moment, leave a sign that your heart is connected to mine, enjoying this message of restoration. Allow this space of peace to be our safe and constant meeting point, gently subscribing so you never lose the direction of my voice. And if you feel in your spirit that another weary woman also needs this celestial embrace, share this encounter of light with her as a true act of love. Tell me, my daughter, in the silent whisper of your thoughts, what is the oldest wound you have hidden from the whole world, but which still hurts before me? Write in the comments our word of faith, marking the beginning of your inner healing. Comforter. However, you urgently need to understand that there is a hidden purpose for which these struggles seemed endless. There is a secret about the plan I have drawn for your life that is still veiled from your eyes, and what I will show you next will forever change the way you see all your scars. You looked at your marks and thought they represented your end. How many times have you faced the reflection of the years and secretly believed that your time had already passed? You whispered to yourself, in the quiet of your home, that the great joys were left behind, lost in the labyrinths of your painful choices and unhealed disappointments. But I come to assure you with the immensity of my love that the pen that writes your destiny is still firmly held in my hands. Your narrative has not been interrupted by life's setbacks or the abandonment of those you trusted most. In the letter to the Philippians, chapter 1, verse 6, my word establishes an unbreakable promise. I, who began a good work in you, will be faithful to complete it. Bring this truth to the room where you weep. Those dreams you kept in the drawer of oblivion, and those hopes you buried because you thought you were too old, have not been discarded by heaven. I have not torn the pages of your future. I have only prepared the ground, through your resilience, to sustain the weight of the glory that is to come. Your story does not end in anguish. It does not end in this feeling that you merely survive, day after day. I am writing, at this very moment, a new chapter of restitution and true peace for your coming years. If this statement has breathed new life into your emotions, leave your sign of faith by liking this powerful message. Feel deeply invited to subscribe to this haven of grace, making this channel our daily dwelling place. And if your heart beats for compassion, share this heavenly comfort with another woman who also needs to discover that she hasn't reached the end of the line. Tell me with the sincerity that only the two of us know, if I handed you a blank page today, what forgotten dream would you ask me to rewrite? Record your plea in the comments with our sacred word, sealing your faith. Restart. However, for this new chapter to unfold, there is something you have been doing against yourself, a silent habit that has paralyzed the arrival of my blessings. It is an invisible bond, and if you do not understand how to break it in what I am about to reveal to you, your miracle will remain dormant, awaiting your permission. My beloved daughter, if the comfort of these words is healing your inner self, and if it is possible for you, only if it is possible, transform your profound gratitude into a seed of love for this celestial work. Consider my immense love and the sacrifice of my beloved Son, Jesus, and support the expansion of my word using the path described in this encounter and also in the first pinned comment. There you will find the place of peace, where your contribution of love can be deposited and consecrated directly before the Creator of all things. You can support with absolutely any amount, and always remember in your spirit, give only what fits joyfully and peacefully in your heart. I receive with immense divine love. The size of the amount offered does not matter, for what truly matters to me is the purity of heart with which it is given. For what seems like very little to you can be immense and transformative for those who receive and use it to continue echoing my voice throughout the world. Those who contribute any amount, moved by a sincere and contrite heart, please remember to leave your name and city along with your seed of faith. For on the first day of the following month, in a unique and entirely special video here on our channel Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered, mentioned, and blessed with immense affection in the form of profound gratitude through a prayer. For it is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 25, "A generous soul will prosper, and he who waters will himself be watered." Every offering made in faith is a seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to bear fruit in your journey. I see your actions in secret, and I reward in the sight of all who doubted you. Remain with me in communion until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my voice. There is a comma in your story that you, tired and wounded, have mistaken for a definitive period. There is a bond of pain in your mind that needs to be undone this morning. If you do not learn to rest your soul in this valley of waiting, anguish will continue to steal your nightly rest. What I will teach you next is the invisible key to unlock the time of miracles for your family. You have been tormented by the feeling that your time has slipped through your hands. There is an invisible wound in your mind that relentlessly whispers that my promises have expired, that the long years of painful waiting were an undeniable sign of my forgetfulness. You looked at life's uncontrollable detours, at the doors that slammed shut when you most needed shelter, and you, in your weary humanity, called each of these delays a final point. This is the heavy shackle that has suffocated your faith in the early hours, the intimate belief that my silence means abandonment. But in heavenly purposes, the time of silence is not a punishment, my daughter. It is merely a necessary comma. In the book of the prophet Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "My word affirms a truth that calms the chaos. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, and at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not delay. Bring this promise into the agony of your present days. How many times on your journey have you cried, thinking that a terrible loss was the absolute end of everything? And I descended to transform that very valley into a scene of indescribable strength. What you call the cruelty of fate or delay today, I call protective alignment. I perceive the anxiety with which you count the accumulated years. You feel exhausted from waiting for miracles, while you watch life around you flow with apparent ease. However, my sacred clock does not obey the rhythm of earthly anguish. The delay that has generated so much insecurity in your heart is, in fact, working on your roots, building a deep and unshakable foundation so that you have emotional structure when my restitution arrives. I did not let go of your hand during your disappointments. If this divine truth is now removing the heavy stone that was on your chest, let your heart confirm this peace by enjoying this offering of love. Allow my voice to be your constant companion of healing, gently inscribing itself in this shelter of faith. And if you feel in your spirit the presence of another feminine soul exhausted from waiting, be my living embrace and share this light with her. Tell me now, in the depths of your silence that is beginning to find rest, what does your exhausted heart still silently plead for me not to forget to do in your life? Put in the comments our unwavering word of today, reaffirming that you have not given up on me. Fidelity. Understand that there is a powerful movement occurring in the place where your eyes cannot reach. While you lament the immense delay, I am digging deep waters precisely in the place of your greatest emotional dryness. Your silence of recent times hides an absolute mystery about who you will become, and what will sprout from these ruins will silence all the voices that tried to destroy your essence. The arid desert you have been crossing in recent years did not arise to definitively dry up your soul, my daughter. I know the profound feeling of aridity that has taken over your interior. You looked at yourself and felt that there was nothing left to offer, that her joy and vitality had dried up after so many losses, after so many disappointments with people who incessantly drank from her kindness and then left, leaving behind only emptiness and the dust of bitter memories. But what you interpreted as forgetfulness and cruel isolation was, in fact, a sacred preparation. In the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 18, I have recorded my profound way of dealing with those I love. I will open rivers on barren hills and springs in the valleys. I will turn the desert into pools of water and the parched land into flowing springs. Bring this heavenly promise into the dryness of your own routine now, exactly where you feel the cutting abandonment, where it seems your heart has closed forever with too much fear of suffering again. That is where I am causing a living water of indescribable restoration to spring forth. Your true identity as a strong woman has not been annihilated by your pain. It is being washed away for your rebirth. If the currents of this purifying water begin to carry away the bitterness from your heart at this moment, let your confirmation of relief be felt by enjoying this message of power and love. Feel warmly welcomed to join our haven of peace, ensuring your spirit always has somewhere to quench its thirst. And if you know a woman whose soul also silently cries out in thirst and weariness, be my vessel of love and share this restorative encounter with her. Now, answer me, in the purest intimacy that unites us. What part of your story has become so destroyed and withered that you've come to accept it will never bloom again? Write in the comments our exclusive word of faith, prophesying that your inner self will begin to pulsate again. Spring. However, so that your hope doesn't wither before the fullness of your miracle manifests, you will need a firm and daily anchor. When the silence of the house screams and the early mornings bring the ghost of loneliness, your mind will need to be unwaveringly attached to my voice. Thinking of those spiritually cold nights, I have prepared continuous protection to hold your hand in each of your weaknesses, something that will definitively transform your coming days. My daughter, so that your nights are no longer filled with affliction, and so that your soul finds a safe haven in the lonely hours of the early morning. I have prepared a daily remedy for your weary spirit. I know the weight of the silence that invades your room when the day ends and the hidden tears insist on falling, whispering that you have been forgotten. But I have never let go of your hand. As a faithful companion for your dawns of pain and search for celestial guidance, I have designed a path of comfort to renew your strength with each new sunrise. If your heart desires to go deeper with me in this healing, know that I have left you a beautiful gift in the form of a spiritual journey that I wrote with much love and affection for all my beloved daughters and sons. It is the digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was fully prepared and planned to accompany you day after day, in the silence of your home and in the deepest intimacy. Access to this roadmap of blessings is also available via the link in this video's description and in the first pinned comment. And if today it's not possible for you to make that choice, don't condemn yourself in any way. Just stay with me here, paying close attention, because I will also sustain and guide you with this blessed message, and so that your heart may rest completely and your mind may not be confused by doubts, know that soon after you complete your simple registration, full access will arrive directly in the email you registered, bringing all the correct instructions, explained step by step, to begin walking with me. For it is written, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." In the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11, I invite you to take a deep breath right now to calm your heartbeat and to continue trusting in my actions. Feel my care enveloping you completely. Trust, rest, and receive the promise of my constant presence in your life. However, the wind of the Spirit is already beginning to blow over the old ruins of your history. A new and impetuous breath of restoration is about to manifest in your path, and the secret of what I will do in the coming hours will completely change your vision of the future. I see how you contemplate the ruins of your own history. You walk silently through the rubble of crumbling plans, failed relationships, and promises never fulfilled. There is a deep, secret pain as you realize the years that have passed, feeling as if life's storms have stolen the vigor of your youth and the joy of your best days. The feeling of constant loss has tried to convince you that you will have to live the rest of your journey gathering only crumbs of happiness amidst this desolation. But I, the Lord of time and life, declare that your ruins are not your final destiny. In the book of the prophet Joel, chapter 2, verse 25, my word guarantees unwaveringly, I will restore the years that have been consumed. Bring this powerful divine truth into your room right now. Those years you wept, believing they were completely wasted on the wrong people, and unjust pain have not been ignored by me. I am blowing a new and restorative wind upon the rubble of your past. The true peace you have always sought is being meticulously crafted by my own hands, not so that you return to what you were before, but so that you may know an honor and serenity you have never experienced in your entire journey. If this wind of my spirit is already beginning to warm the coldness of your soul, let your heart confirm this wonderful promise by enjoying this celestial message. Allow my voice to continue being your beacon of peace, gently inscribing itself in this refuge of love and constant hope. And if your spirit remembers another warrior woman who is also weeping over her own ruins, be my instrument of grace and share this restorative strength with her. Tell me, in the depths of our intimacy that no one else sees, what was the greatest loss in your life that you have not yet been able to fully surrender into my hands, for fear of hurting even more? Rest your heart and write in the comments our sacred word for this evening, sealing your ultimate healing, restitution. However, for the dawn to bring true rest, and for this new time to take root in your life, there is an immense and heavy burden that you still hold tightly against your chest. If you don't release it in the next few hours, anguish will try to return. What I am going to ask of you next is the final and decisive key to the complete liberation of your soul. I feel the resistance of your soul as you try to maintain control of situations that no longer belong to you. There is an invisible burden of worry about tomorrow, about the fate of those you love, and about the outcome of battles you don't have the strength to fight. You spend the night with racing thoughts, carrying guilt that I have already forgiven, and trying to solve problems that only my majestic power can solve. But in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, I made you a direct and loving invitation. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Bring this call into the intimacy of your room at this very moment. The approaching dawn will bring not only the brightness of another ordinary day, but the inauguration of a new spiritual season in your life. However, to receive God's new blessings, your inner self needs to be empty of old worries. I ask that you release this emotional burden now. Let me take care of what haunts you. Let me resolve what keeps you awake at night. If surrendering this immense weight is bringing real relief to your weary mind, confirm this by liking this celestial message. Allow my embrace to continue being your shelter every morning, gently inscribing yourself in this space of faith. And if you feel in your heart that a friend or family member is also being crushed by the weight of nighttime anxiety, share this liberating rest with them. Tell me, in the sanctuary of your own conscience, what is the most unbearable burden you are releasing at my feet this very morning so that you can finally rest your soul? Write in the comments our sacred word for today, declaring that your rest has arrived, relief. But before peace fully envelops you, I need to seal your heart with an unbreakable key, something I promised from the first moment you arrived here, and which will be your armor for all the coming days of victory. I look at your essence now and see that the heavy chains of doubt and sadness have fallen to the ground. The agonizing weariness that tried to paralyze you at the beginning of this moment no longer has power over your mind. You entered this presence seeking only to survive another painful night, but I gave you the firmness of a victor. Every hidden pain, every silent tear, and every weight that wounded your heart has been gathered and transformed into fuel for your great rebirth. Your story did not end with your falls, my beloved daughter. On the contrary, you are only entering the most beautiful, abundant, and peaceful phase of your entire earthly journey. I made you a firm promise when your feelings were clouded. I promised to whisper a phrase in your heart that would multiply your strength, a divine answer to your affliction that would release prophetic blessings upon your home. Incline your spiritual ears with reverence for the celestial key that I deliver into your spirit now, so that you may destroy all your daily fears is this: I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Take hold of this unshakable truth with all the passion of your soul. Write this exact phrase in the comments as your definitive act of surrender, as your sealed covenant, and as your proud response of faith to heaven. As you record each of these words of power, know that my spirit is shattering the last shadows of sadness that tried to haunt your family. Our profound encounter tonight brought healing, but my loving dialogue with your heart is eternal, alive, and inexhaustible. There are many more wonders that I wish and need to reveal to you about the immense plans of joy reserved for your life. Remain sensitive to my voice, for heaven will still whisper surprising directions to guide your steps. Let our spiritual journey continue flowing without interruption, seeking my presence through our playlist here on the channel, where I have left countless other love letters prepared exclusively to comfort your soul when pain tries to return. Trust fully, rest without fear, and walk in complete peace.